What up? What up? What up? What's going on? This is the Crow and Oso Show. I'm Crow.
I'm Oso.
All right, well, we gonna get right into it, man. I mean, we got a lot of people that are happy and a lot of people that are disappointed.
That's right.
And we're gonna start off real quick by doing a recap of the week we just had. First game, Thursday Night Football. We did the San Francisco 49ers against New York Giants. San Francisco won 30-12.
Just pure dominance on San Francisco's behalf. Christian McCaffrey seems to be scoring a touchdown every game now.
Whoa.
That defense is stout, but then again, it's a Daniel Jones-led offense. But my comment about that defensive landslide, I don't know. It seems like San Francisco's the new number one, but we'll get into that a little bit later in the show.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. There's no holes in their defense, and I think that not only are they the best defense, they may be the best team in the NFC.
I can't argue that.
I just think that they're just at this point. You never know. It's a long season. Next game, Tennessee loses to Cleveland Browns 27-3.
I think Cleveland is better than what people are giving them credit right now for. I know they lost Chubb, but that week 2 loss to Pittsburgh was an overall really good game. I mean, that game could have gone either way. But I think Cleveland is kind of like a sneaky team out there in the AFC. I'm not saying they're one of the top teams, but they're like a dark horse right now, I would say.
Yeah, I think that it looks like Deshaun Watson's kind of getting it a little bit together, knocking off a little bit of the rust. And I believe that Tennessee should be playing with Cleveland's colors because they play like shit. I think that Tannehill is terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he was terrible at A&M, and I think he's terrible now. And he's not the answer. You guys need to look for either a running back or another quarterback. Let your backup give us a shot.
Yeah.
Next game, Toilet Bowl City, New Orleans against Green Bay Packers. So Green Bay winning and edging them 18-17.
Green Bay pulled this cat out of the hat, as they say. They were down 17-0 with like maybe 2.5 left in the third. And they scored 18 unanswered points to steal the victory. So I guess it is what it is. Packers win.
I mean, didn't New Orleans miss the field goal?
They did miss a field goal.
Like, what's going on?
Jordan Love, I had a lot of, doubts. I didn't think we would be like the next Aaron Rodgers, but we used to behind the quarterback for so long. That's why I said I think it was either the week or two before ago where Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for so long that once he came out, he was just immediately like, great. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 or 4 years now. So yeah, he's been sitting back learning.
Oh, man, I'm scared to even talk about this. All right, Denver versus Miami. Miami wins 70-20.
This is the 4th time in NFL history and the first time since the 60s that a team even breaks 70 points. I want to say if the last time this happened was in the 60s, in the Super Bowl era, this is the first time this happened. The Miami Dolphins beat the Denver area high school Broncos because this is ridiculous. Like Russell Wilson, hang it up. You don't have it anymore. Sean Payton, I thought was the answer, but apparently Sean Payton, you're without the bounty and without freaking Drew Brees. I don't know what's going on in Denver. The culture is supposed to be a lot more elevated, but 70 points? 70. Not taking credit away from Tua's balling out right now. Like, the no-look 20, and he go, oh my God, say it again. Stop. Tua is balling out right now. But me at quarterback with Tyreek Hill, even I would ball out right now.
What happened when he got hurt? What'd they do?
It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, I'll give credit where credit is due. They're playing like Golden State Warrior type of offense and elbow.
Yes.
And it looks really scary. Not only that, 70 points without Waddle?
Yeah. Ouch. Miami is probably, personally, I think has the best offense in the league. And they don't even have Jalen Ramsey yet. Defensively, they don't even have him on defense yet. Chubb has been balling out, but like you said, I don't know what it is about Denver. Between the beating that Colorado Buffaloes and the beating that you guys took, I feel like the whole state needs to just take a break from sports. The reason why Miami is so deadly is because of so much speed. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Mozart, this guy named A-Chain, whatever it was from A&M. I remember him from A&M. He was stupid fast. I was like, he's kind of little. It don't matter. Mozart had a receiving touchdown. H.A. had 2 receiving touchdowns.
How 2 players combined for 8 touchdowns?
Come on, bro. Tua had 4 touchdowns, 23 for 26. Make him sweat a little bit. I don't even think you made him sweat. It's just horrible.
It seems like the things in the great shit of Colorado are kind of rocky.
That was good. All right, next we got the Los Angeles Chargers against Minnesota Vikings. The Chargers won 28 to Minnesota's 24.
The Chargers pulled it off. Herbert is a great quarterback. I feel bad for who he's playing for.
Me too.
The Vikings are exactly who I said they were, even though we both picked them just because we thought both teams were kind of evenly matched. I mean, the score does say they were. But Kirk Cousins, you have Osborne, you have Hawkinson, you have Jordan Addison. Like, you have different ways lead a great offense other than just throwing it to Justin Jefferson. Offenses need to spread the ball, man. Like, Hart goes out against Mike Williams, another torn ACL. That's going to ruin the Chargers season, I think. Hopefully a speedy recovery for Mike Williams.
I mean, I chose the Vikings because I had no faith in Keelan Moore, which I still don't, that you ever set foot in Texas again. And if you look at the unbalanced attack that they had, you would understand where Cowboys Nation frustration lies. They threw 48 times as a team. They ran as a total 50. You can't win that way.
Yeah.
And I love Herbert. Herbert's amazing. Can't not run the ball at all. I know that you don't have your starting running back, but you got to find a way to get the ground game going. So New England versus New York. New England wins.
A field goal fest. Sloppy game. Both teams are just not where they need to be. Obviously, the Jets without Aaron Rodgers are not going to be the Jets that we thought or that we were expecting to see this year. And the Patriots still have to figure out some things. They're still a young team. That defense is real, I would say.
Yeah.
But Mac Jones in the offense just can't seem to put it together. I don't know if that's credit to the Jets defense or the weather that they played in. But yeah, just overall weird, sloppy game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I always give credit to the Patriots defense because they have Bill Belichick as a coach. But, I mean, I think that they just didn't fear Zach Wilson's arm, honestly. I mean, he threw for a whopping 157 yards. But even worse than that, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook, they combined for 36 yards.
Again,
Buffalo versus Washington Commanders. Buffalo wins 37 to Washington's whopping 3.
The Bills dropped the ball in week 1. Week 2 and 3, though, they look like the Bills that I've been trying to tell you about. Top 3 in the AFC.
Yeah.
Josh Allen doesn't make boneheaded mistakes. That defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
They have a great running back. They have great. I mean, I'm not going to say great receivers. They have a great receiver.
Yeah.
And I like Gabe Davis. I like Kincaid. I like Knox.
Kincaid and Knox are good for tight ends.
And like I said, Gabe Davis, he's just like sneaky, in my opinion. He's solid. Sneaky solid. You know what I mean?
He's solid. He's a upper mid-tier 2. You don't think so?
Even maybe that's a little bit high. But yeah, I would say he's like mid-tier 3.
Houston versus Jacksonville. Houston wins 37 to Jacksonville 17.
I know I said Jacksonville was top 3 in the AFC. Well, too. That ship is sailed. Trevor Lawrence, I wanted you to have a breakout years. And it's still early. It's only 3 games. But in the AFC that's stacked, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, you have to show me more.
Right.
You know, I know you have a great coach over there. Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley is Travis Etienne. There's no reason why you guys should be this bad right now. Houston, D'Amico Ryans is a defensive mind. I get that, but y'all should have beat Houston, especially at home, where I've always raved about y'all don't lose to Jacksonville. Playing a team like this in your own division, y'all should have handled business, and y'all got whooped.
Yeah, I definitely got beat. Here's my thing. I like Trevor Lawrence, right? But here's my problem with society, with media. Like this show, we're going to talk about all the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. When are we going to start criticizing Trevor Lawrence for his lack of production and his lack of success, like we do Tua, like we do Jalen, like we do Dak, like we do anybody else? Because he was a number 1 overall, like clear cut, right? Now you have Ridley, you have Zay, you have Kirk, you have Etienne. You got Ingram from New York.
Right by Ingram and Kirk.
So here's the question. What's the problem? 17 points against this. I get it. They're the Texans and you got, Ryan's defense, but they're not Belichick's. They're not even established. They're just young guys.
Mm-hmm.
So why aren't you exploiting the weaknesses?
Yep.
Why aren't you running more? Why aren't you giving them big numbers?
Yep.
So we need to start talking about why Trevor no one says anything.
Yep.
Is he a bust? No one's saying that at all.
Yep.
So that needs to be talked about a lot more. So
I agree.
I don't know. Next game, Indianapolis versus Baltimore.
Baltimore played without 8 starters. Can I say something? And it might be controversial.
What's up?
Lamar Jackson is not that guy.
No, I think a couple people be saying
Not that guy. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that.
He's not that guy. I don't care about the injuries. Lamar Jackson, to me, is just not that guy. I'm sorry. It had to be said, and I said it. It's just I don't see anything that would convince me otherwise. If you don't have Odell, throw it to Bateman. That was number 1 last year. I drafted Bateman for that reason this year. And so far through 3 weeks in fantasy, I have a total of 4.80 points total. The Ravens are exactly what we said they were, and they're pretenders. They're not good. They're not good. They're not.
All right, I'm gonna. A couple of people have been saying the same thing too, and then this is my take on it. I think that Lamar Jackson has talent, but I believe that he's not in the system that allows him to thrive the way that he needs to thrive. I love the fact that he can run, but just because someone can run doesn't mean that they should run as much as they do. They have him running at a high value, which is great for a running back, but not for a quarterback. If you're gonna let him run, do a couple of play actions. Do a couple of, anything.
Get creative.
Get creative. And I don't think that their offensive coordinator is allowing them to be creative. Now, is a lot of this also on Lamar? Hell yeah, it is. Because he's the one throwing the ball. But he's still efficient. 22 for 31. I mean, it's not horrible. He doesn't throw any interceptions, but he's taking a lot of sacks. I feel like their playbook is absolute trash. Their defense looks solid.
Yeah.
Between Queen, between Roquan Smith, between a couple of the guys that they got on that defense, they're doing solid. Hamilton, but I don't know. Personally, I feel like they need to just scrap. They clean house. You guys need to clean house for sure.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are what? They're 2-1. Who they played the first week? Well, they lost to
Jackson in week 1.
My man Minshew was 2-0.
He also stepped out of bounds in the end zone and caused his own safety. But
yeah, you're right.
Bro,
did they win?
Enough with the Minshew.
They win?
They should have won.
Did they win? No, I don't care what they should.
No.
Did they?
Stop the Minshew hype, bro. He's not a good quarterback.
Did they?
Wait, on that backup. But that was it. Yeah. No, you said he's better than Kurt. He's not. Okay, no, he's not.
Okay, and they didn't even have a right guard. Their right guard went out. He was rushing for his life. There's a tire. Even when he went out, did he have any protection?
No.
He had no protection.
No.
They lost with Richardson, and they won. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback. Go back. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he could start for a couple of teams. Dallas included. I'll take him over that. But that's a whole nother topic. I just think that he's solid. We'll see what he'll do.
You love this dude, bro. I mean, I think he's solid as a backup. I know he's a starting quarterback in this league.
Hey, 2-0. I want to tell you. All right, Carolina versus Seattle. Seattle wins 37, Carolina 27.
Andy Dalton still has a job?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they produce a little bit more points than they have been. I mean, that's true.
Seattle was just very dominant. That week 1 was very fluky. I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Kind of like the dark horse of the NFC. Kind of like I think that the Browns are over in the AFC. They're not a contender, but they're gonna be very, very pesky for like a lot of teams.
I think they'll make a good strong run for a while. I don't think they'll win their division, but I think they'll make a strong. And I think that because they have Pete Carroll at leadership, I think that they'll be tough, and they're going to persevere throughout all the stuff that they need to do. So,
I'm glad you mentioned Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll to me is grossly underrated too.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, ask Russ. Chicago versus Kansas City. Kansas City won 41. Chicago's 10.
Another take that I might not agree with. Justin Fields and what busts are starting to get closer and closer together. I don't like him. I don't. The fact that he blamed the coaching last week shows me that he's still really immature. Okay, you don't say things like that.
I agree.
Let's say it is a coach's fault. You don't say things like that.
Keep it in-house.
Especially when you're that young trying to learn the game.
I agree. I mean, I would put it like this. He is definitely looking like he can go either way, right? He's on the fence with me. But I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, you have... Look, they ran 26 times as a team. Justin Fields ran 11 times.
No.
That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can't throw, which clearly they can't, you run. It is what it is. But I don't think that He's looking bad. I almost didn't even want to talk about this game. Let's see.
Well, you didn't mention Taylor Swift.
I'm like, man, I don't know something about Taylor, man. I mean, it is what it is. She look like a football fan now. So,
But it should be known that she is from Philadelphia. She's a diehard Eagles fan. So,
is she dying or is she wearing Casey?
I told her that she's dating Mr. Kelsey right now, but she's always been an Eagles fan. But that's fine, Taylor. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like you anyway, but that's fine.
I mean, if she was dating him personally, I think she should have just wore a Kelsey T-shirt.
Yeah.
If you were a diehard, but
yeah, Chiefs coat on and everything.
golly, ain't he? That's another thing. Anyway, we're gonna skip this. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna talk about Pittsburgh, the Sunday night game, Pittsburgh versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Pittsburgh wins 23 to Vegas's 8.
Pittsburgh once again is looking like we thought they should have looked in week 1. They were gonna beat San Francisco, but we thought they were gonna put up more of a fight.
Yeah.
They beat the Browns. Division foe last Sunday night. That was a really good game for them. And then going on the road is never like an easy task, especially in the National Football League. They shut the Raiders down, even though that's not really hard to do. But Pittsburgh is showing a lot defensively. Offensively, Pickett, I don't trust those small hands yet.
I still trust you, period, bro. What's wrong with you?
I want George Pickett to have a breakout year because he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I like.
I don't know if Pickett is going to be that guy to get my wide receiver over the hump. So we'll see.
Nah, I feel like Kenny Pickett is someone that they would want to be the guy because he did so well in college. And I was like, oh, this guy looks like he has a lot of potential. But he's starting to look like a busted.
I think it's one of those like feel-good stories where he went to college at Pitt. He got drafted by Pitt. So they're trying to make it seem like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, and if things like that worked, it is a great story, but it just doesn't seem. He's shown spurts, he hacks, but not. He's very inconsistent.
You're trying to fit a triangle in a square slot. It just doesn't work. He doesn't look like he's working at all. Now, honestly, on top of that, Najee Harris doesn't either. Najee Harris had 19 carries for 65 yards. Jimmy G, my man had 3 interceptions that night.
I wonder if his career would have taken off had he stayed with Coach Belichick.
I think he would have. I think that Patriots team would have.
Because there was so much hype around him, and then
he looked good.
Yeah,
he looked good with the Patriots.
Personally, it's like, I wonder how that would have changed his career.
But we're going to go to the Monday night game, and then we'll finish it off with the 2 games of our teams. One Monday night game, Los Angeles Rams versus Cincinnati. We have the Cincinnati Bengals winning 19 to Rams 16.
The Bengals had me really nervous in the first half. Joe Burrow. We don't know if teams are performing the way they are because nobody plays preseason anymore. So I don't know if these teams are trying to like really still kind of find themselves, like trying out different things. But the Bengals looked like the Bengals of old in that second half. I know they're off to a slow start, but there's too much talent on that team for them not to be one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
Hopefully Joe Burrow's calf is in really good condition. They were able to control Puka Nacua from the Rams.
Puka! Yeah, I think there are a few things that contributed to the Bengals' success and failures. Personally, like you said, we talked about, I think that no preseason play is going to affect anybody's game.
Yeah.
But also, a big thing that nobody's really talking about, T. Higgins. What's up, bro?
No show.
Bro, what are you doing? He had 2 receptions that game.
And he had like 3 or 4 drops.
I was just about to say that. Like, your drops are crucial. And I thought that he was going to be way better than what he was coming out of Clemson. When he came out of Clemson, I said, damn, they got him. And then when they got Chase, I said, they're going to 2 number 1s? Bro, you're looking like a mid-tier 2. You know, to be honest, for me. I don't, you're too big to be that soft. You know, I don't like it. I feel like you don't fight for extra yards. Like, I don't think you got dog in you. You're playing like Garfield. You're not playing like, not like Shere Khan, all of my range out there. So I think you need to step it up tremendously. Personally, if I was a Bengals coach, I feel like we have too much invested in Joe Burrow right now to really play him. I don't think he needs to play, to be honest, right now. I feel like it's a long season. I'd give him like a game or 2, maybe 2. You know, I don't know who your backup is, but I try to see if someone else can try to get it done.
Yeah, maybe if you're playing a weaker team, just be safe, man.
You're gonna put a guy that's hurt in a bad situation where the line's not protecting him, and it can just leave him exposed to big hits, and that could take him out. I'd rather keep him out for 2 games than have him take a big hit, be out for the rest of the season. we'll go back and we'll talk about Dallas versus Arizona, with Dallas losing to Arizona in 28-16. You want to start off? It looks like we got a little bit on your mind.
In all seriousness, this is a very, very, very good weekend as an Eagles fan. Very good weekend. Whenever the Cowboys lose, America wins. Okay. With that said, I don't know if the Cowboys suffered an emotional loss or a mental loss with the devastating injury to Trayvon Diggs. All jokes aside, you don't want to see that happen to a player. It doesn't matter how much, you like hate a team. I don't. That's the last thing I wanted to see. But Trayvon Diggs was not a factor in the Cowboys getting ran on all day on Sunday by Joshua Dobbs and James Conner. I mean, listen, man, this is why I've had to tell every Cowboys fan, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans. They're in my family. I have a lot of friends. My co-host Crow. So it's like, my thing with Cowboys fans, look, the history speaks for itself. Like, it's there. Like, I understand what it means to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. I do, right? But y'all get so excited so quick. And as a fan, it's normal to get excited because when your team is playing good, that's what you want as like a fan. That's what you want. But I'm begging y'all, Cowboys Nation and Crow, wait until y'all reach the NFC Championship to get really excited again. Y'all do this every year. What was it last year? Week 14, week 13, when y'all went to freaking Minnesota and y'all beat the Vikings like 44-6 or 40-6, and y'all were like, yup, it's our year. We're going to the Super Bowl. Again, got knocked out by San Francisco. The Cowboys have too much talent. Even me, I'm saying that. The Cowboys have too much talent to not be one of the best teams, to not be a Super Bowl contender. Like, y'all have that talent. It's there. Micah Parsons, you're a dog. You are. Stay off the podcasting, bro. Facts. Why you already threatening Tyreek Hill when y'all just couldn't stop the Cardinals? What are you gonna do with the Dolphins? Why, like, stop, bro. Week 1, you said, Dallas Nation, get ready because we're taking the show to the Super Bowl. After week 1, bro, y'all don't say these things. Dak Prescott, you're weak. You're weak. The media pushed on top of the world and they got what they wanted? That's your response? That's your response, Dak Prescott? Y'all weak, bro. Like as an Eagles fan, I actually feel bad for Dallas Nation. I feel bad for the fans, not for y'all. That's some weak-ass shit. That's weak, bro. Take accountability. Make the throw. You throwing the triple coverage in the end zone, bro. Triple coverage. There was still like 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. Come on, bro. Like, yeah, it's like Cowboys have more talent than this. Y'all are, I still believe you are still one of the best teams in the league. It's okay to have a game like this. Like, it happens to everybody. It truly, truly does. It truly does. But stop the talking, play the game, and get to the NFC Championship before y'all get too excited. Try to hold it in a little bit. Just try to, just try to contain it a little bit, Dallas fans, a little bit. I rest my case.
This is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I feel like that's your capacity. I'm going to say this. I think we honestly needed this. I think Cowboys Nation needed this. I personally needed this. I needed this loss because I needed it to remind me it doesn't matter how much talent our team has. Because you say the history shows that, we get excited and we lose, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that's because of our team. I think that that's because of our leadership. If you look at our head coaches, they all have been castrated men. They have all been guys who do exactly what Jerry Jones tells them to do. Breathe now. Breathe. All right, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Cough. And they do, all right? Between Campo, between Jason Garrett, between Mike McCarthy. I didn't like the Mike McCarthy hire. I still didn't. I still don't. I didn't then. He did went to the Super Bowl. Oh, with Aaron Rodgers, he rolled the way. Okay? And at the end of the day, the culture we have in the locker room reflects the way that coaches come out. I'll put it like this. Philly wins terrible played games. Why? Because they got the heart of a lion in their quarterback. They got the heart of a lion in their coach. I don't even like their coach. I hate their coach, to be honest, but I respect the fact that he's like, I don't care what we look like, we're going to win. McCarthy, as soon as that threw interceptions and as soon as we did bad plays, he was looking like this. Golly, man, this shit looks like it's going to rain today. I didn't want that to happen. My cotton candy's going to get soggy. What's happening? And that frustrates me. It frustrates me because as a Cowboy fan, I know that this is one of the most stacked offenses that we've had in a while. Dak Prescott has so many weapons to go to, yet and still he decides to only go to CD. And this game, he actually went to Gallup. And guess what? He had 92 yards. And he didn't even hit him as many times as he should have because he had steps on his man deep and we didn't go deep. What we kept doing was dinks and dunks and dinks and dunks and dinks and dunks. And it makes him look decent. And he still looked like trash. I'm saying, that's what you look like. And like he said, for you to say, oh, America got what they wanted, quit playing this victim card, bro. I don't want that as our leader. I don't want you as our leader if you're going to sit back and try to tuck your tail between your legs. Take it on the chest and be like, all right, man, my bad. We lost today. We played like trash, but we're going to bounce back. You didn't look like that. You look like you got punched in your chest. Huh? You went to draws. And I can't have that as a leader. You're getting paid $40 million a year. And I knew it was a problem then. Now it shows. Not only are you taking hits on our salary cap, we're taking hits on the win column. Simply because of the way that you're playing. I'll do you one better. If you guys remember, we had triple coverage at the end of the game. And we threw the Cook, a smaller receiver, mind you. It wasn't like a 6'7", 6'5" receiver. We threw the triple coverage. And guess who we had on the goal line? A tight end, which we talked about before. We had Ferguson on the tight end who sealed off his man and was going to run across. When you could have thrown one across down below where you could catch it and fall into the end zone, yet and still we didn't do that. I get it. They're probably giving you bad play calls, Dak, but you're making bad decisions. So heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? It's going to rise and fall with you, just like Jalen. Like if they're winning, yo, hey, he's leading, yep, right? If they're losing, yo, what you doing, right? We scored 16 points, right? Was it 16? 16 points, right? 9 of those were on field goals. So we scored 1 touchdown. On this defense, we didn't even have Boda Baker.
A defense that Daniel Jones dropped 38 on, by the way.
Danny Dimes, right? You made him look like Danny Dimes because you're that trash. And I get it. I agree. I feel like the loss to Trayvon Diggs is definitely hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But they ain't got nothing to do with the run game. They ain't got nothing to do with the offense.
Nothing.
I get it. That's your boy. But don't you want to represent him in a good way? Don't you want to win and be like, hey, yo, this for you, right? Don't you want to get an interception and be like, hey, Seth, this for you, right? You didn't. The only good things about this game, there were 2 players that did well on offense, right? Pollard did well. Pollard had, 120, what was it? How many yards did he have?
And had 107.
120 yards, right?
Yeah.
My man got 122 yards. He did great. I feel like we force it sometimes. We try to run him like Derrick Henry when he's not, but he does a great job of running between the tackles. And Michael Gallup had 92 yards.
CD, horrible game.
You know, I mean, but I expect that, though. I expect CD to get double teamed sometimes.
Yeah.
So, like, we have too much talent for, it's like the Brown game, right? When Brown was having a soft game, but Smith was killing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're going to have good games and bad games. Cook. You have Ferguson, you have Gallup, you have CD, you have Hendershot.
Yeah.
And then he drafted a tight end 2nd overall. Why? I don't know. But we could have still hit him. Pollard out the backfield, and we don't. So honestly, I blame that on our leadership, and that goes back to our coach and our quarterback.
Yeah.
Trash. Both of you. One's every year trash to the other. One's one's a big glad bag, and one's a little, trash bag that you get in your bathroom. Both of them. Ass. Horrible. Fired it. Now, I'm really getting close to putting you on the Keelan Moore thing where you got to get out of Texas. Defensively, we didn't look the same, and I don't believe they should have got 28, but our offense didn't help it either. Michael didn't really, they kind of looked out of it. That's why I go back to what he said. You guys got to get off your podcast and focus and zone in, right? Key in on the task at hand. We got so excited that we didn't even worry about who we were playing next. I think that we sat out, and I get it. All of we sat down. Martin, he wasn't playing. Our center wasn't starting, right? So those are 2 Pro Bowlers, and then Smith got hurt. So that's 3 Pro Bowlers on our line. I get it. Pollard still produced. Yep. Pollard still produced. You don't get 122 yards without solid line play. Right. I'm not saying they trash, but they're not our first team, but he still produced.
Yep.
What'd you do? 249 yards after throwing 40 times. 40 times. You average 6 yards of throw. Interception at the end of the game to seal the deal. I'm just done. I didn't even want to talk this long about this, to be honest. I'm ready to get over it. But we'll see what we do next week, okay? I need this because at the end of the day, as long as we have a weaker coach, somebody that doesn't instill a fire, that's what I think we lost to Trayvon Diggs. Not his play. I mean, yes, his play, but the way that Trayvon has fire in him, He doesn't want to lose. He challenges that. I love that. Michael Parsons is fire. I love that.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that night.
Yep.
None of it. And if you look back, I think that the guy that got the interception, Dak was talking trash to him. He called him, what he called?
Kajir White, ex-Eagle, by the way, last year.
Yeah, White was like, you're a bum.
Yeah, he called him up to the
You're saying what America's thinking? He said that for the Eagles. I swear to God he did. I swear to God. He said that for him because he did that for the Eagles. Like, I remember you a bum. And he has been. He's shown to be that. You know what I mean? He's shown to be that. So, I don't know. That's what I got to say about that. I'm really done. Next week.
Wait, let me touch on one thing real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Cowboys' red zone struggles are very, very, very clear. Because it's not like y'all were moving the ball downfield. Like, y'all were. Like, y'all still have over 400 yards of total offense, right? I was watching the game, and it turns out that losing Dalton Schultz and Zeke are turning out so far to be a huge deal for you guys.
No, not really. Not even Schultz. Buck Schultz.
It's about, I'm just saying, there was a stat that in the red zone last year, Schultz and Zeke were like top targets.
And but here's the thing, like, we don't target our tight end. And that's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying because they want to not say Schultz is good. I'm just saying he was a tight end that was being used in the red zone. Right. I agree. We have 3 tight ends that we're not using. You see what I'm saying? Like, our red zone it's terrible because we're going away from what worked.
Yeah.
And that goes back to coaching. Why do you not hit that's like not going to Goddard in the red zone.
Yeah, no.
Or not going to, Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. And we just don't go to any of at all. We need a power back, which I really wanted in the draft, man. But I get it. Let's just draft a tight end that we're not going to use. And and then we don't use our tight ends. We don't use Hendershot because he wasn't drafted. It's very political in Dallas. And I think until we have new management and new general management, and that's not going to happen until our owner moves on. And he's not going to move on until he passes. I was going to joke about that. I mean, I'm not saying I wish O-line to play nothing out anyway. They don't happen until it only means one thing. Yeah. That's all the way, right? Because he doesn't want to relinquish control. Because our leadership, we need to just figure that out.
Him too, bro. You're the only owner doing press conferences. Shut up.
But you know what that is. It's all about much. Like, he wins in the office and then we lose more late.
But it's what I bring that up. Business-wise, y'all do it better than anybody.
Yeah, he's amazing. It's a phenomenal.
But your team cannot continue to be embarrassed like this year in and year out. You can't. Too much history, too much success, too much talent. Just cut it out, yo. Cut it out.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Next week, we'll see what we got going on and go from there. All right, next game, we got Philadelphia Eagles versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You want to hit it first?
Yeah, I'll hit it first. The Eagles, okay, and I want to be careful because I'm not going to get overly excited, all right? But the Eagles showed me a lot last night, okay? Week 1, we escaped, but we found a way to win. Week 2, we looked better, but we almost blew it. Week 3, we put together a whole game, and we still played a C-plus game, in my humble opinion, okay? Jalen Hurts had 2 picks, so let's start with that first. The first one, he was going to hit DeAndre Swift. Miscommunication, I want to say. He still probably should have held onto the ball a little bit longer, but he was scared that he was going to get hit.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I have a question.
Yeah.
While I was watching, I said, this is funny, right? Because that was the one with White intercepted it.
Yep.
But why did he go out of bounds?
I saw that. I was like, what are you doing? Like, the only person in front of him was Hurts, and Hurts is a quarterback. So why not challenge?
And White is fast. White isn't even like linebacker fast. He's an NFL receiver fast.
He jogged to the sideline at like 2.
When he intercepted, I was like, oh, here we go. And then he jogged.
That could have changed the complexion of the game.
Up the game.
Right.
It could have been a pick six.
100%.
When you went out of bounds, it looked funny. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying that it is anything, but it's just weird. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
The second pick, he threw a bomb to Devontae Smith. That would have hit Smith like this, but Delaney from the Bucks, what an interception.
Yeah, it was a great play.
Holy crap.
That was a good route.
I will say, though, Hurts, you had 1 pick in the first 8 games last year. You already got 3, so I don't like that. But let's just say that the first one, y'all just weren't on the same page. The second one was just a great play. Fine. Your pocket presence was incredible last night. Incredible. The 2 throws he had on the same drive to Zacchaeus, I hope I'm saying that name right. You stayed in the pocket both times. And the touchdown pass with the pressure being hit and the accuracy, bro, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, the throw.
Phenomenal. Your pocket presence, I was like, you know what? He's not even running this year so far. He's not even running. Our running game, was it Moses that parted the Red Sea? I really have to brush up on my Bible. I'm sorry, Jalen, I'm set for that. But Moses could not have parted the holes for DeAndre Swift any wider, bro. This offensive line is the most dominant offensive line, and I can confidently say this by a landslide.
Agreed.
Yo, DeAndre Swift isn't getting touched till he's 10 yards downfield.
Agreed.
He had 28 carries last week for 175 or 100.
175, right?
28 carries, I remember. He had 16 for 130. Meaning his average yards per carry, 8.1. Who does that? When was the last time you heard a stat like that? When was the last time y'all heard a stat like that?
I knew that boy was going to be a problem.
Not only that, DeAndre Swift, the offensive line is having gaping holes for him to even run through. And guess what? When those holes aren't there, he's making everybody miss. Everybody miss, bro. This man is from Philly. He wanted to play for the Eagles. And it's only his 4th year in the league. Kenny Gainwell actually is a huge part of our offense because he was able to share the load. And there was holes for him to go through.
And he only averaged 3.3 yards.
And we haven't even used Penny or Boston Scott yet.
You should. Gainwell may not be it.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
he's where the Eagles are at right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Defensively, this is the first time where I'm like, look at that. We do have a defense. Even in the secondary. Reed Blankenship, I told you about him. He's solid. Sidney Brown, solid. Bradbury and Slay had solid games last night.
I mean, okay. Yeah, what's your other tight end? The one that Edmonds, he was solid.
Oh, you mean the safety?
The safety.
Terrell Edmonds, solid. Yeah. All right. Again, we're playing against Baker Mayfield, but you got Chris Godwin over there. You got Mike Evans over there. Like, Tampa Baker did start out 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about this year, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, look, for the first 9 teams that passed up on him, thank you. What are you doing? Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Because Jalen Carter is going to win multiple Defensive Players of the Year. Multiple. Defensive Rookie of the Year, book it right now. If you send him the trophy, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Especially after when White had picked off that ball and didn't make not a single effort to even try to truck pressure or something. The very next play, Jalen Carter. Boom. Right back to us. Right? The Eagles defense, when Hurts threw that bomb pick, right? The Bucs had the ball on their own 1-yard line. The Eagles defense, Morrow, boom, safety. Like, we came out to ball last night. Granted, without getting overly excited, that's okay. We're a work in progress. Even after the game, everybody was saying Kelsey, Hurts, Coach Sirianni, Brown, Smith, everybody's like, nah, we saw him put it together. We're not playing great football yet. And we look dominant this night. In fact, I was looking at it because I'm a diehard Eagles fan. I watch every game with like purpose, right? Last night's game, and we're like I said, I think it was a C+ game. We're nowhere near where I think we can truly be. Last night's game, compared to all the games that we played last year, might have been the best performance I've seen out of this team. On both sides of the ball. Both sides of the season. No, bro, the last 2 seasons. And that's saying something. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. I'm interested in that. I know it sounds crazy.
Okay, good.
But defensively, the secondary and the linebackers, which have always been our weak spots outside of Hassan Reddick and Slade and sometimes Bradbury. But last night, Cunningham, Morrow, we don't even have Dean right now. But the safeties, Terrell Edmonds, Brown, Blankenship, we showed a complete ball game. And we haven't shown that kind of I'm saying just a better team performance than I've seen in the last 2 years. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay? We have a long way to go. Hurts, the passing game came completely to life last night. All the talk about, the A.J. Brown and Hurts, there might be something. I told you it was nothing. Brown had 9 catches for 131 yards last night. What happened? I told y'all. Is Brown still a diva for doing that last week? Yeah, he is. But I knew it wasn't toxic. Jalen Hurts is a leader. Coach Sirianni's a leader. That locker room, they're leaders. The reason why 9 teams passed up on Jalen Carter was because they were concerned that his off-the-field issues were going to be a problem for the team. But no, our owner, our GM, knew that our locker room is full of leaders. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Johnson, Elsie, Hurts. Our locker room is full of leaders. They're like, nah, JC, this is the place for you, bro. Go ahead, teams. Pass up on him. Go ahead. Pass up on him. The Eagles, baby. The Eagles. All right? It's a new day in Philadelphia. Barring health, barring injuries, I love our leadership. I love our locker room. I love both sides of the ball. We're here once again, America. We're here.
Don't talk to America. That's our job. Okay, and as for you, I will say this. I hate this, but I always give credit where credit is due. Literally about 98% of Oso, what he just said was just etched in stone. It's true. I can't say nothing. Because it's the truth. It is what it is. This isn't the show where I'm just going to be arguing just because he's a Philly fan. I want to, but the sports fan in me is like, he's right. That's right. The leadership factor that you said, that's right. Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox,
And Graham.
Frey. But no, but it's right. I can see the passion that Graham had. He wants to win more than anything. I will say this. I'm gonna speak on the Eagles, then I will speak on Tampa Bay. The Eagles look very, very sound on defense. Very sound. Their line has showed what we already thought. They're already beastie. And then Carter keeps being like, why I should be starting every game. Why are you doing this to yourself? And he shows that not only is he a problem in pursuit of the quarterback, he's forcing fumbles downfield. He has a motor that you just can't coach. Jordan Davis, stop and run. I didn't mean to mention him. Well, he's improving. And I see that it's the culture. That's what I keep trying to go to when it comes to those other players. I'll get mad. But the culture in the Philadelphia locker room is phenomenal. And it sickens me to say, but I have to say it. They are showing what it takes to build an empire, a dynasty, to let it keep going on. They're passing the torch. So I will say that. Jalen Hurts, you definitely improved. I will say this, though. That throw, because I was confused when you said that the throw was great, especially being hit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a veteran throw.
Right.
But your boy has all day and forever and a day in that pocket. That line looks still. I was looking at it. I was like, get him. Cause like, oh no, damn, what am eat tonight? What we? Oh, and then the way he threw it right in that pocket. Hey, like I said, I give props to do. I don't even like. I told you I like you as a person when I see your leadership, but I didn't trust you as a player. But you got it done, so I have to give you props. The Brown thing, like I said, 14 targets. I don't know if that was overcompensation for what happened last week, but it doesn't matter. As long as you fix what needs to be fixed, y'all are gonna be good.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is who I thought it was. And it was what I thought he was.
I did tell you guys that, though.
Yeah, Baker is Baker. I don't give a damn what you thought. The Tampa Baker is cool on, on T-shirts, but he's trash. Not even trash. He's hot garbage. He's garbage. We all know he's garbage. It was the OU Bowl last night. Jalen Hurts versus Baker. And Baker's always been a mid-tier quarterback to me.
Yeah.
He has talent, but his passion eclipses his talent.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he talks too much. You beat the Vikings and the Bears, bro. The Vikings and the Bears. You don't beat the chest.
Yeah.
What'd he say to that dude when they ran him over in the weight room, boy? What'd he say?
He said, get in the weight room.
Hit the weights, little boy. Something. I'm like, bro, what do you know? You see he say that in there yesterday?
Nope.
You can't. You got Mike Evans, and their weakness is secondary, and you target them 10 times, and that's it.
And that was like all in the fourth quarter, to be honest.
Right.
Garbage.
Because I'm like, why are you not throwing to, and then Godwin, who's good.
Nothing.
What are you doing?
Then you had
Palmer?
touches.
He's just trash. I just really think he's garbage, and it is what it is. White, the defense shutting him down. 2.7 yards a carry.
Our run defense is going to be, as long as Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are there, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Luck rolling ball. So that's going to be a problem for any team coming up. So it just is what it is. I think that I think the Eagles are number 2, and I think the reason why I give the number 2 in the NFC is simply because of them figuring out the offense. So that's it. They figure out and this is not even offense, it's the passing game. Clearly the running game works.
Yeah.
Clearly. You get Goddard and Smith and Watkins and Brown incorporated in your offense on the same page as Jalen, it could be a long season. But I still give the edge. Even defensively, they're sound all the way through. Passing game is a little shaky for the defense. So once they find another quarterback, we'll see how that fares against that secondary. But they're number 2, and it's close. And it's not even like a head to shoulders 1/2, but it's close. I'm still going to give the edge to San Francisco. So
no, for sure. The one thing I forgot to mention, if I may.
Go ahead.
TOP. Time of possession. What did I say last week? The Eagles won all year last year by keeping the other team's quarterback off the field. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs had one drive at the start of the fourth where he started hitting Mike Evans. Mike Evans had like maybe 4 catches on that same drive. Mike Evans had 4 catches in that same drive where he scored that touchdown. And we got the ball back with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. So we're up 14, right? We got the ball back with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. I'm going to say that one more time. We got the ball back with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. Never gave the ball back to the Bucs. Never. That's a 9-minute drive. 9-minute drive. That's what I call dominance. Our offensive line and defensive line are both the best in the league. If we control TOP, good luck. Good luck. On to the next subject.
Thank you, because I was getting queasy.
3-0. No, I'm sure you're upset. Yeah,
I am.
You had a horrible weekend.
I did. I mean, it's already bad when we lose, but when we lose to a team we should have beat, and then they blow out a team that I thought was going to give them a good game, it's like, well, it's horrible. It's the beginning of the season now, so,
But we're humble. We're humble over here. It's okay. We're doing progress.
See, that's what makes me like, we're humble. 3-0. I'm serious. Hey,
that's a fact. I'm not moving on to the future. I'm not speaking into the future. That's a fact. We're 3-0. That's it. On to the next one.
I'm not talking about what was said. I'm talking about how it was said. You know what you're doing. I'm about to fall. All right, we're gonna go straight into it because I'm sick right now. We're gonna go on to the next week picks. We're gonna go through the games really quickly and see who we choose. If you want to win some money, come join us. Choose who we pick. If not, lose money. I don't care. Spend it on whatever. What were we last week?
Our record has improved, as we said, and I promised that would be. Last week, Anthony was 11-5. I was 10-6.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out what's going on. The more that we get an idea of who these teams are,
A lot of fluky games too, so you can still trust us.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, Thursday night game. We have Detroit at Green Bay.
Ooh, Detroit. It's a tough game.
It is a tough game.
It is.
You know what? Oh, I'm gonna go Detroit too.
I love against the Saints.
Me either. And I like Love, but I don't know if they got it. All right. Next game, Atlanta at Jacksonville.
I'm going to pick this with more caution than I did last week, and I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
I'm the same way. I don't have faith in Atlanta. Who is Ritter? But Bijan didn't look great last week either.
Yeah.
But you could break out. I will see. Miami at Buffalo. This is going to be a good one. Let's go.
Oh, damn. Oh, but this was supposed to be the primetime matchup.
Oh, wow, no.
But if it were one of the 425s.
But still.
Oh, no, because they got no win in Dallas, 425.
No, America. Go ahead. All right, we got Miami versus Buffalo.
Great game. I want this Tua thing to stop for my sake.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Buffalo.
I'm going to go Miami. I just think they hot right now. They didn't even have Waddle. Hey, he been your boy. All right. Then we got Denver at Chicago.
Whoa. Yikes. This game's going to be played at Koreatown High School. They're going to show this to the audience. Man.
Oh, that's funny.
Yikes. Yikes. Call somebody on FaceTime to watch this.
Yeah, Instagram Live. Oh, yeah, you're showing this on Instagram.
Wolf. Yikes. Let's go with Denver. Sure.
Yeah, I'm going.
Go ahead and let's start with the next one. Baltimore, Cleveland.
All right, so we got Baltimore versus Cleveland. Oh, I'm going to go Cleveland too. Cincinnati at Tennessee.
Cincinnati.
I want Tennessee. Cincinnati's just been. Oh no. Yeah, I'm on Cincinnati. It's all right. They're trash. All right, Los Angeles Rams versus Indianapolis Colts.
I think Shane Steichen has the Colts offense playing pretty well. Let's go with the Colts.
I'm going with the Rams, like easy. Like they're gonna run through that stuff. Tampa Bay at New Orleans.
Tampa Baker, you're back.
I'm going New Orleans just because I hate you, Tampa Baker. And hopefully Jameis is there, so Jameis may give you guys a run for your money. Washington at Philadelphia.
This is the team that gave us our first loss last year with Taylor Heineke. They were 8-0. So I'm not going to say it with much conviction, but Philly.
All right, Philly. I need to quit. I'm not even talking about it. Minnesota at Carolina. Oh, really? Are you serious?
No, Minnesota.
I was like, what? Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota too. Pittsburgh at Houston.
Based on how Houston played against Jacksonville, you don't think so?
Nah, I think Stroud is a bust. I'm not a bust, but I don't think he's what that is. I think
Brain's been balling so far. I
think Pittsburgh has a defense that's going to give him a chance.
Okay, let's go. Let's go with Houston. I'm going to go with Houston.
All right, I'm going Pittsburgh, even though I don't trust Kenny either. Las Vegas versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, those teams play each other good all the time.
Oh,
and then Mike Williams isn't there anymore. I do like Palmer.
I do too. You didn't target him that much.
I like Parham. I like Everett. Eckler should be back. But the Raiders always play the Chargers really, really well. Chargers, though.
Oh, I'm going Raiders. Wait, who's the quarterback now? Is Jimmy out?
No, Garoppolo should. I don't think he was going to be out for. I think he should play.
New England versus Dallas. At Dallas.
I expect Dallas to have like a really good game because after losing like that, there's no way they're going to lay an egg. I will say New England's defense is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dak is going to have a frustrating day, but Dallas's defense is going to neutralize the Patriots' offense, and that's why they'll win the game. And of course, I hope I'm wrong.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Dak adjusts to the defense that Belichick is going to give him. But hopefully the defense bounce back and it gives Mac some problems. I'm going to always choose Dallas, just to let you guys know going forward. Arizona at San Francisco.
Now that Arizona's playing a real NFC team, I expect that.
You already said.
Sorry, I had to. This week I had to. But no, we're going to go with San Francisco. It'll be San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco, man. Sit down. All right, Kansas City and New York Jets.
Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. Like Seattle at New York. Which, hold on.
I know they were playing the Bears, but Kansas City looked like they were back in form, and that's always like a scary thing.
Next, Seattle versus New York Giants.
Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle's going to beat the brakes off of New York Giants.
Yep.
So it'll be an interesting, week coming up. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, Cowboys bounce back if they get their stuff together. And the Eagles, we'll see if they continue to roll and let people know who they are. So now I'm not yet to add to it, include this episode.
Yeah, and I just hope, like I said, it is the NFL. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. That's why they say it. Tough game for the Eagles, even though the Bills just blew out Washington. You just never know. Play somebody in your own division, or anything can go wrong. But I expect Dallas to pretty much bounce back against New England. I expect the Eagles to go 4-0, San Fran to go 4-0. All the top teams to continue what they're doing. But other than that, thank you for tuning in to week 4 of the Crow and Oso Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn that bell on, and keep watching us. We appreciate y'all.
We love y'all. I'll just let you know, even though I'm down, it's still Cowboy Mason. Let's go! And